In this lesson, we shall focus on differential calculus, cubic graphs, and a lot more, and we are getting started. Question 11. The sketch graph below represents a cubic function f with equation f of x equals x cubed minus 4x squared plus 4x plus k. The graph passes through the origin, has a local maximum at b and c, and a local minimum at a and 0. Explain why k equals 0. Because the equation is f of x, which equals x cubed minus 4x squared plus 4x plus k. But explain why k equals 0. Right, explain why k equals 0. Right, please let us know when you're done. You have 1 minute. So we continue. How far? Explain why k is equal to 0. Explain why k is equal to 0. Explain why k equals 0.
It is the point where the graph touches the x-axis.
Okay, because the graph passes through the origin. Right, the graph passes through the origin. That is why the constant term. For every graph that passes through the origin, the constant term is 0. Right, continue. So we're saying the graph passes through the origin. The graph passes through the origin. Right. Okay. That's the reason. For every graph that passes through the origin, the constant term is identically 0. Use this value of k to determine the values of a and b. Right, so now they're saying k equals 0. Let us find the numerical value of a. This is b and c, that point. This is a and 0. This is f, etc. And this is the graph. Use this value of k using this value of k, determine the values of a. Determine the values of a. Right. So we continue.
A equals to 2.
That sounds awesome. That sounds so awesome. So at this point,
Do I need to explain? Oh,
yes,
no.
please. Yes, please explain.
So what I did, I wrote the formula down. From the formula, I took out common factor x. Then
Yes,
x outside of bracket, open bracket, x squared minus 4x plus 4. Then I made a bracket, I made FOIL. So I said in one bracket it's x minus 2, other bracket is x minus 2 again. So
yes.
one x equals to 0, and then the other x equals to 2.
Well done. Well done. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's on point. So because f of x is well done. Thank you so much. So this is x cubed minus 4x squared plus 4x. Factor out x, which is x squared minus 4x plus 4. You factor out the x squared minus 4x plus 4, which is exactly x minus 2 all squared. At this point, we want to determine the x-intercept. So if you equate the graph to 0 like this, you get the equation to 0. We have x equals 0, x equals 2, x equals 2. These are the x-intercepts. So at this point, it is clear that A equals 2. For 4 marks, using this value, the value of K equals 0, and using this value of K, that is, determine the values of B. What are the values of B, or the value of B? B is here. If K equals 0, you've seen that A is 2, and this is B and C, and this is A and 0. Determine the values of B. Okay, now we are looking for B. We're not running, so don't break your fingers. Right, right,
So there's a not one.
please come again.
One.
Okay, that's fine. Remember, don't run. Don't run. Don't break your fingers. Right, obviously, what you can see here is therefore that we have found the equation. K is 0 there, which means that we have x cubed minus 4x squared plus 4x. We find the first derivative, giving us 3x squared minus 8x plus 4. At B, therefore, obviously, we have the turning point, meaning the derivative equals zero there, because of the fact that it is the derivative of a tangent at the point. And right now, you will get the following. The factors of this, which should be 3x minus 2, but also x minus 2 equals 0. X is 2/3 or x is 2. And therefore, obviously, because x is already 2 here, and therefore at this pointer, x must be 2/3, which means that B is 2/3. B is 2/3. Any question? B is 2/3. B is 2/3. B is 2/3. Any question? Any question? Anything you'd like to understand? Anything you'd like to understand? Right.
No, so we can move on.
We can move on. Good. Right. So we try the next question. And trying the next question, we have the following. We have exactly the following. Right. Let's try the next one. The graph of G with equation g of x equals mx is the tangent to f at the origin, at the point 0 and 0. Calculate the value of m. Right. Okay, see, everything is clear. This one is B and C. This one is A and 0, this point. This one is F. The graph of G, the graph of G with equation g of x equals mx is a tangent to F at the origin 0 and 0. Calculate the value of m. Calculate the value of m. Right. We want to know the value of m. We're practicing here. We're going to do corrections
Yeah, so can I
before.
please get assistance? I don't know. I'm just
That's
thinking
fine. Yes, that's
what
okay.
what
Yeah.
I'm initially thinking is since
Yes.
it touches at the origin, won't
It touches
n
at the
equal to
origin.
x?
Yes, and the equation of these is g of x equals what? Equals mx, and it touches
Of
at the
x.
origin.
So was I correct of thinking that, or is there more to it?
Yeah, well, yes, a little bit more to it, but you're on point. Because it touches at the origin, meaning we need to find the derivative of this function,
Okay, okay.
which is the slope or the gradient, which is m. So the derivative of this is actually exactly 3x squared minus 8x plus 4. It is evaluated at the origin, which is 3 of 0 squared minus 8 of 0 plus 4, which equals 4. Good. And therefore, if you compute everything here, it's going to be 0, 0, and therefore m is 4. M is 4. So that is the answer exactly. M equals 4 there. That is the answer exactly. M equals 4 there. That is the answer exactly. M equals 4. Make use of the graph or any other way to determine the value of p for which x cubed minus 4x squared plus 4x plus 2 equals p will have only one negative solution. Yeah. So now 11.4 is your cup of tea to enjoy. 11.4 is your cup of coffee to enjoy. Enjoy the coffee. Enjoy the coffee. Normally say smell the coffee. Smell the coffee.
So what do they mean by we'll have only one negative solution?
Yeah, the negative solutions to this would be because this is the cubic function and this
Yeah.
one is a number, the p is a number. So it means that the cubic function is going to actually intersect with another graph, which is y equals a number p. Maybe the number can be 5 or anything like that. But when it intersects, you draw a line like this. The intersection is going to be such that the x value that is corresponding, it's a negative at the point of intersection. Because obviously, if you draw a line here, it's going to cut at 2 points, and these are positive x values. But if it cuts here, then we have a negative x value.
So the x value must be only negative, not the p, or the p can also be negative.
Yes, the p can also be negative. Yes, yes, of course. The p can be negative. If the p is negative, it means that the line cuts maybe here. Because the p is a y value, it's y equals p. Like this one is y equals the cubic graph, you know? So this is B, C, B and C, A and 0 together with F. Make use of the graph or any other way to determine the value of P for which of these will have only one negative solution. The negative solution is it's a negative X value of intersection. Because this
Okay.
is like an equation equating two graphs. We're finding a point of intersection between two graphs. You get the point? We're finding a
So
point
it's
of
wait,
intersection
wait, wait.
between two graphs. Yes?
So I need to find a negative point for the normal f graph and for this x cubed minus
Yes, you need to
4x
determine,
squared.
you need to determine where, at what point, because if it cuts here, there's one, there's one solution. But it's one solution. But if it cuts here, there is one
Okay.
solution. Okay, the solution we're talking about is it's a point of intersection. It's called a solution, right? So to the equal functions. Okay, so now if you draw a line here and they intersect here, there's one solution. By one solution, we mean one point of intersection. But here, the corresponding x value at the point of intersection is going to be positive. But if you draw it here, it's going to be one solution, but it's going to be negative, which is what they want. But now they're then saying, for what value or values of p will this be true? But we can see that if you consider this original graph, any line like this, it's always going to be one solution and a negative solution. One point of intersection and a negative solution there. You get the point? Right. So we continue. We
Okay.
continue. By one solution, we mean one point of intersection. Here, there's one point of intersection if you draw a horizontal line like this. So what you need to do now is to look at the given graph, which is f of x.
So we don't consider g of x equals mx.
Yeah, this one is, we're done with it. It has not
Okay.
been 11.4. Okay, good. Right, to only consider the original cubic, which is actually, which applies to all the questions. So x cubed minus 4x squared plus 4x. Okay, the k is already 0. But now the examiner has added 2 to this.
Yes, sir.
But they equated to p, so it's not f anymore, that they added 2. So which means that we have x cubed minus 4x squared plus 4x. Then it is p minus 2. Then you move the 2 to the right.
Okay.
Well, why do we move the 2 to the right? Because so that on the left we have the original function. Because the original function does not have a constant term. The k is 0.
Yes, sir.
And they just put 2 there to throw you off a little bit. But you need to say, okay, the 2 can move it to the other side so that you have the original function. And then we have two graphs to analyze. So now this is the cubic graph given, which is the original. And then now you have another one, which is y equals p minus 2. The p minus 2 graph, which must intersect once so that we have one solution, but it must be a negative solution. Negative solution it means that the x value must be negative. Obviously, if you draw a line here, it's going to cut once, one solution, and the x value is negative. But for what values of p would this be? It's going to start for any line that is going to just be below the origin. And then you can go on and on and on. It's going to cut once, even if you extend the graph like this. So it means that it's only when it corresponds to y that is negative. Y that is negative. Which means it is p
Okay.
minus 2 that is negative. Which means p is less than 2. P is less than 2.
Thank you, sir.
Right. So for what determine the value of p? So the answer is that p is less than 2. A little bit tricky, but think about it and make sure you understand this. Okay. Make sure you understand this. Right. So it came from the Gauteng preparatory exam of 2015. I was looking at the Gauteng preparatory exam of 2015 today, and I decided let us have a discussion about this and make sure we understand what is happening here as a matter of fact. We'll move on to the next question. The next question is question 10. Given f of x equals x squared minus 8, calculate f of minus 3. Try this one, please. Try that one, please. When you are done, please let us know.
That equals to 1.
Well done. Too easy.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Some of them are going to be easy, of course, but some of them are going to be tough. So we're doing f of x equals x squared minus 8. F of minus 3, you have minus 3, you square this minus 8. What is minus 3 squared? It's 9 minus 8, which is a 1. Now, 10.1.2 says calculate f primed of minus 3. 1 mark. You have 1 minute.
Yes.
Right. Right.
It's -6.
Okay, now you're enjoying this. Too easy. It's like you're not thinking anymore. You'll be like, okay, this is too obvious.
No,
Okay,
so I just plugged it in the calculator.
oh, okay, that's fine. So f of x is x squared minus 8. We find the derivative so that you become a medical doctor. You can go to Cuba. You need to get your level 7 in the math. Okay, so this is what we're trying to do. It's not smokes and screens. Okay, find the derivative. It is 2x. F prime of minus 3 is 2 of minus 3, and it is exactly a minus 6 over there. It is exactly a minus 6 over there. It's exactly a minus 6 over there. So we have this. Right. We have this exactly. Next question. Do 10.3. Determine the equation of the tangent f of x equals that at minus 3. Right. Right. Yeah, determine the equation of the tangent to f of x equals x squared minus 6 at x equal to minus 3. Okay, let us know when you're done, please.
So I'm not sure.
Okay, that's fine. We are practicing. We're practicing. Okay, so now determine the equation of the tangent to f of x equals this at x equal to minus 3. Right, so we try more and see what we can do there. Determine the equation of the tangent to f of x equals this at that. So for the equation of the tangent, you must find the slope. So now you must find the slope first because f of x is x squared minus 8. Let's start here. F of x is x squared minus 8. Let us find the derivative, which is 2x. We have already found in particular. Yeah, let me not actually repeat the same things because so you already know the derivative. Like, you already know f primed at minus 3 and you got a minus 6 and that is m. Right. So, okay, so in the end, then we have x squared minus 8. The slope you already have. This one, we got it to be 1. And so what you then having is therefore that you need to find the equation of the tangent. What is the equation of the tangent? You already know the equation of the tangent is y minus y1, which is m times x minus x1. But this tangent passes through x. Whenever x is minus 3, y is 1. So this is x1, y1. So you're going to do y minus 1. The slope is minus 6, x minus x1, which is 1. Y equals minus 6x plus 6 plus 1. Okay, let me check if I have all the numbers very well. Let me check if I have all the numbers very well. Okay, right. So we continue. Right. Okay, so we continue. Yeah, I wanted to say the x1 is minus 3. But I wanted to clarify the x1 is minus 3. So in here, you put minus 3 for the x1 and you multiply through. So plus 3, which is minus 18, plus 1. Y, which is minus that, minus 17. Y equals minus 6x minus 17. Okay, so any question? This is the answer. Any question? Make sure you understand what we've done. Because a tangent is a straight line. So use the equation for a straight line. Use the equation for a straight line. Make sure you understand because this question's already there in the exam. Right. So yeah, so now please any
Yes, sir, we can
question?
move on.
We can move on, right? Okay,
Yes,
good.
sir.
Good. Let's move on to the next one. This question came all the way from either the Eastern Cape or KZN. One of the preparatory exams that came in 2015 or something like that, or 2016. The graph of the cubic function with equation this and that is drawn. A and B are turning points of F. P is a point on G and Q is a point on F, such that PQ is perpendicular to the x-axis. Calculate the coordinates of A and B. 4 marks. 4 marks. 4 marks. Right. Right. 4 marks. Calculate the coordinates of A and B. Okay, yeah, you have 4 minutes. You have 4 minutes.
So it went out.
Please let us know when you're done. Yes, please, my dear. I received a police call from you.
Okay, sir. Bengicela ukuthi ungirequestele ngoba ngicedile ngoba ngishiya umama nomntwana ngiyazi ukuthi urathile onjani.
Oh, okay, my dear.
Funa ufike khona manje ungangirequestela my dear.
Ukuphi manje? Square.
Yeah, thanks for the man.
A Pick and Pay.
Yes, my dear.
All right, my dear. Okay.
Okay,
All right, my dear.
okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, my dear.
So
Yes, you're done.
I'm a bit stuck on B. I got for A 0 and -2, then B for the Y, I got 3/2.
Okay. Okay, good. I mean, that sounds so good because now when you are actually obviously analyzing this particular points, you have exactly the following. You have exactly the following there in 10.2.1. Okay, you note that the f of x is given by x cubed minus 3x minus 2, and we find the derivative of this, which is exactly 3x squared minus 3, and this derivative is equal to 0. And at this point, you equate it to 0, which means that x squared equals, we can write 3x squared equals 3. Dividing by 3 gives us x squared equals 1, which means that x is plus or minus the square root of 1. And you have plus or minus 1. Meaning x is minus 1 on this side, but x is actually exactly equal to 1 there. At this point, we ponder on this and reason carefully, and we use the equation. Right, so you find f of -1, substitute into the function, which is -1 cubed minus 3 minus 1 minus 2, which is 3 minus 2, which is exactly a 1, and it gives us a 0 there. And then we have f of 1, you put into the function, you cube minus 3 by 1 minus 2, which is minus 4. X is 1, y is minus 4. X is minus 1, and y is 0. Calculate the coordinates of A and B. Right, so we have found the coordinates of A and B. Any question? Make sure you understand exactly what is happening here. Make sure you understand exactly what is happening here. Right. Make sure you understand exactly what is happening. Next question. If PQ is perpendicular to the x-axis, because so this one is P here and this is Q. If PQ is perpendicular to the x-axis, calculate the maximum length of PQ. Calculate the maximum length of PQ. Okay, try that one. Try that one. Try that one. Try 10.2.2. Once you are done with 10.2.2, please let us know so that we can be in a position to see what we can do, so that we can see exactly what we can do. Right. So we continue with exactly what we need to do. Right. We continue with exactly what we need to do. Right. Let us know, please, when you're done with this question. Right. You have 4 minutes. You have 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Yeah, there's K for Kaya and S for Selby 09. Yes, KS 09. Yes, it arrived there at the Pick and Pay entrance. Yeah, KS 09. Okay, danke, my dear.
So I'm not sure, hey.
You're not sure?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's fine because you're practicing. I'm not expecting you to get 100% here, but I'm expecting you to try something. And that is what is important. So now to find the PQ, because this is P and that is Q, so in mathematics, therefore, this is the distance between two graphs, two curves, and we then say the upper curve, right? So we then say the upper curve minus the lower curve. So what is the upper curve? It's the G, straight line. The lower curve is the cubic because the cubic is below here. The one above is the straight line. So the upper curve is g of x minus the lower curve, which is f of x. And g of x is 2x minus 2 minus f of x, which is x cubed minus 3x minus 2. And therefore, this is 2x minus 2 minus x cubed plus 3x plus 2. And so this gives us PQ is equal to minus x cubed. Right, minus x cubed plus 5x. We are, and that is what we have here. Right, so we continue. We continue. Okay, let me just talk to this person. Please find the derivative of PQ equated to 0 and solve for x. Okay, that is fine. So, okay, I thought this person was in trouble, but it's sorted. It's okay. Right, so,
Yes, sir.
okay, yeah. Now, we actually therefore need to find the derivative, because now we need to find the maximum length. For the maximum, you must find the derivative and equate it to 0.
Okay.
Right, and so what you then do is therefore you must find PQ primed, which is the derivative, and it is minus 3x squared plus 5, and this is equal to 0, which means we have the following actually 3x squared. You move it across, it is equal to 5, or you have minus
-5.
minus. Yes,
Oh,
negative
okay,
5.
okay.
You can have minus minus, it becomes plus, but you can put minus
Yes,
here.
sir, you're right.
Yes, okay, good. Yeah, but then we just put minus minus. It's okay, so that obviously, I mean, one can say you move the 5 and this one is negative, you have that. But it's negative both sides, so obviously you divide by -3, you get x squared equals 5/3. And therefore x becomes plus or minus the square root of 5/3. But obviously we're looking at x that is sitting somewhere there, meaning therefore x is only the positive. So this is 5/3. And then use a calculator.
Mhm.
So that then in the
One comma
end,
29099.
okay, that sounds awesome that you have already got the answer. I'll just verify with the calculator.
No problem.
Okay, good. Getting actually 1.29. Very well done. Very well done. So we have a 1.29. Okay, 1.29. Okay, now you think about this, but you're going to take this value and put into the PQ equation, which means therefore our PQ is equal to, because it's this, we know that it's minus x cubed plus 5x minus the x is 1.29, you cube it. The x is 1.29. Then we're going to just get the answer out of this using a calculator. Let's just check this out. We cube negative 1.29. We cube plus 5, 1.29, and you close, and the result is the following: 4.3 units. 4.3 units. And this is the answer. It's actually exactly 4.3 units. And this is the length required. So PQ is actually 4.3 units. 4.3 units. Any question? This
No,
is
sir.
what they wanted. It's everything they wanted. Something you must remember always, given two graphs and you want to find the maximum length of the distance between the two graphs, you must say the upper curve minus the lower curve. The upper curve is a straight line here because it's above. The cubic graph is the lower curve there, and you're able to get the answer. So we move on to the next question. We move on to the next question. Determine the values. Determine the values of k for which f of x equals k has only two real roots. Determine the values of k for which f of x equals k has only two real roots. 2 marks. I'm giving you 2 minutes to do this one. Once you're done, please let us know. Once you're done, please let us know. Right. Right. We continue. So you tried that question. 10.2.3, you have 2 marks and you have 2 minutes. So you continue. You have 2 marks. And for the 2 marks, you must consider 2 minutes. You must spend 2 minutes there.
So,
Yes, please.
do you use that b squared minus 4ac is less than 0?
Anything. Anything, but it's just that this one is a cubic graph. So you see the p squared minus 4ac, it's like for quadratics. It's a discriminant. Nature of roots. And nature of roots work only for quadratics because this one is cubic. It's not a parabola, you see? So it's a bit different. So you need to be obviously very cautious of when to use the p squared minus 4ac formula there. You
So
just need
can't
to.
you use it on your first derivative then? Or no, never mind.
Okay, that's fine. But you see, you can do magic. It doesn't matter. I mean, you can do tricky things and suddenly, boom, you get the answer. It's possible. I mean, we can't all think in a straight
No,
line.
no, no.
Right. We have
It's
like,
not gonna work. It's not.
okay, that's fine.
Thank you, sir.
All right, that's fine. But I said already, I'm just testing you with these things because they're going to be in the exam. I'm trying to open your eyes so that you can look and see. You know, you must not close your eyes. You must open your eyes. We're testing you. This is the exam. These things are going to be in the exam. These ones. No jokes. No jokes. We continue. We continue. How far? I hope you have not fallen asleep trying to think about the answer to the question. You know, it happens when one is trying to solve a question, then suddenly it's sleeping. Is it too hard? Okay, never mind. We are learning here. So we note that f of x is x cubed minus 3x minus 2. That is the given function. And now it is equated to k, meaning we are looking at another graph. So we're looking at f of x equals this, but we're also looking at another graph, which is y equals k. And now these two graphs, we must draw both of them. But these two graphs must intersect each other. And they must have either one point of intersection, 2 points of intersection, or 3 points of intersection, or more if that is possible. So this is the cubic graph. And then y equals k. And then now we are saying, well, there's only two real roots. Two real roots. So you must draw many horizontal lines because you don't know where the line is going to be, except you can quickly think. But now there's another one that is going to, you can draw it here. It's going to touch at the point here, the turning point, and it's going to touch the cubic graph there as well. So, which is obviously giving you two real roots, a root here and a root there. A root is the x value where these two graphs intersect. But you can also draw another line there, giving you a root and a root. Okay, so let us check what we have here. Let us check what we have here. So then in the end, what we are then having becomes the following. It becomes exactly the following. Okay. It means that we know A has the coordinates -1 and 0. We know that B has the coordinates 1 and -4. Meaning y is equal to 0 here because the x-axis is the same as y equals 0 on the x-axis. But y is -4 through this vertex. So determine the values of k for which this has only 2 real roots. Right, which means k is 0 or k is a -4. K is a -4 there. So we continue with the check. We continue with the check. So any questions? So those are the two answers there to the question. The okay at the lines that touch the graph at 2 points only, giving us 2 real roots. There is a root here, which is the real value of x, the x value at which the two graphs intersect, x equal to -1, and also the intersect at another x value there. We're not interested in the values of x, but we're interested in the values of k. But the values of k are values of y because k is equal to f and f is y. So y is 0 there, and also y is a -4 over there. So any question about this?
No, sir.
Right, so now we move on to the next question. We move on to the next question. We move on to the next question. Determine the values of x for which f is concave up. Determine the values of x for which f is concave up. Okay, now we have 3 minutes for the 3 marks. 3 minutes for the 3 marks.
Sir, here you
Yes,
use a
please.
point of inflection. Am I
Yes.
right? And the point of inflection is not at C.
Yes.
So it's not going to be when x is bigger than 0 all the way till infinity.
Yes.
But you don't include the 2.
Yes, most definitely. Okay. Yeah.
So
So what are the values of x for which f is concave up?
from when x is bigger than 0, x is an element of
X is an element of
0
0.
to infinity.
Okay. Something like this.
Hold on.
Okay, yeah, I can get what you're thinking there. I can get what you're thinking there. Okay, obviously to do that one, we must start with the graph itself, which is x cubed minus 3x minus 2, which is 3x squared minus 3. You must find the second derivative, which is exactly 6x, and then say it is bigger than 0. Dividing by 6 allows us to get x is bigger than 0. Right, so at the point that we have x is bigger than 0, you would then be in a position to analyze that x is bigger than 0. So determine the values of x for which it is concave up, so it is x bigger than 0. In which case you can write it like this, but you can say x is an element of the interval from 0 to infinity. That would be correct.
So that's what I said.
Yes, so well done there. Well done. I was just obviously listening to you there. That's okay because it's strictly condition zero, so that both brackets must be round. It's fine. Okay,
Yes,
let's
sir.
get
That's what
the
I said initially.
yes, yes, that's fine. I agree. I agree. You're right. But now in this question, because it's 3 marks, they expected some steps, you know.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay, good. And obviously, possibly worked it out, but maybe you could also look at the graph. It's concave up there and be like, okay, it's when x is positive, then it's concave up. You see? I mean, it is possible to do that. Okay, let's look at the next question.
Hmm.
Let's look at the next question. Question 10. Determine the points on the curve y equals 4 for x where the gradient of the tangent to the graph or to the curve is -1. 5 marks. You get the point. 5 marks.
So I'd be lying if I knew where to start or what to do here.
Is it too difficult? Okay, that's fine.
Yes.
Okay, we're practicing. We're practicing. Okay, because now you are speaking about the determine the points on the curve where the gradient. Speaking about the gradient to the tangent is -1, so you must find the gradient. So it is 4 out of x, but this is 4x to the power -1 dy dx. -4x to the -2. And this gradient is what? Is -1, which is -4 out of x squared is -1. You cross multiply, you get x squared is 4 plus or minus equal to 4.
So
Yes.
with the dx, when do you specifically use it?
When you want to find the gradient.
Okay,
When you
thank
want
you,
to
sir.
find, basically, when you want to find what you call the derivative. Yes, so you use the dy dx to find the derivative or the slope or the gradient. Right, so now at the point that we have got this, obviously the derivative, now it's the gradient, but the gradient of the tangent is -1. So the gradient is -1, which must be equal to dy dx. So now this we read it as dy dx is not dy over dx. You see, that is the thing. You see, it looks like a fraction, but the truth is in mathematics, it's not. It's called an operator. It's called an operator. So now at in the end, then you have that x is 2 or x is -2. Okay, so if this is true, your y is 4 out of x. When x is 2, then you're going to do 4 out of 2. Y is 4 out of -2. 2 -2.
Wait, sir,
Two,
sir, sir,
two,
I've got lost. So please, can you go back
where?
to
Where
the
did you
x
get
equals to
lost?
plus -2? Is it a continuation of the root,
Yes,
right?
yes, yeah, because
Okay,
we got
okay,
x
okay.
squared
I
equals
see
4
now.
and we're trying to solve for x, right?
Okay, okay, I see
Right,
now.
good. And then obviously we got the square root of 4, which is 2, but because it's x squared, then we take the square root both sides, getting plus or minus answers. We separate the two answers, we get x equals 2 or x equals -2, but the equation is y equals 4 out of x. So we plug into the equation if y equals 4 out of x. When x is 2, we put 2 there. 4 out of 2 is exactly 2. When x is -2, you put there, you get -2, which means that when x is 2, y is 2. When x is -2, y is -2. And because they said now, determine the points. These are the points. These are the points. 2 or 2
Thank you, sir.
or 2 -2 and -2, right? So any question about the points, you're supposed to get the points. That's all.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, good. Right, we try now and we move to the next question. These are like exam questions, and we're trying to prepare for the exam. So we must make sure we try, and obviously give you a chance to try from time to time to make sure you practice. Let's try the next question. Now, 10.2 is next. the graph of a cubic function with the equation f of x equals x cubed plus x squared plus bx plus c is drawn. F of 1 is f of 4 equals 0. F is a local maximum at B and a local minimum at x equals 4. Show that A is -9, B is 24, and C is -16 for 2 marks. Okay, obviously now this is a bit too tiny, but it's 1 here, it is 4 there. This is the point B. This is 1 and this is 4. And this is Y and this is X. Show that A is -9, B is 24, and C is -16. You have 2 minutes. I want to see what you can do there. This question is already in the exam, please. It's not,
So
yes, it's not smokes and screens.
in terms of the lessons, tomorrow,
Yes.
I don't think I'll be able to make it because I finish writing at 5:30 and
That's
I write
okay.
second
That's okay.
session.
Then we're gonna do it the other day.
So also then I can do 2 lessons on Thursday.
That's fine.
'Cause
So you let me
Wednesday,
know when you're available. You let me,
Wednesday I'm also writing till 5:30.
that's fine. So you let me know, then we can do Thursday. You know,
Okay, so no problem.
okay. It's all right. So we can do Thursday. Or we can also do earlier lessons if you're free earlier. You let me know. I'll
Oh, so especially for Wednesday, I need to memorize
focus.
a lot of notes.
Okay, what subject is it?
So tomorrow it's EGD, and
Yes,
then Wednesday is business.
I understand. Yeah. Business is lots of notes, yeah? Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right,
And
that's
paper
fine.
two.
Yes, that's okay. But obviously, you choose the times when you're free. You see, we don't just say every day. That's not what we're saying. Right? It's not just every day. Whenever you're free, you let us know. Okay. So this is what we do. So let's try the next question, please. Yeah, 10.2.1. So we're going to hear from you because we're trying to
Okay.
make sure we practice.
So Thursdays, we can do 2 sessions even on Thursday,
Yes.
from any time to any time.
Yeah. Oh, on Thursday. Okay.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. So yeah, we shall plan more on Thursday. So yeah, you suggest the times to me and then I can work it out. Maybe we can do earlier because if you do double. But it's not the end of math because you still have Monday math
Yes,
exam.
sir.
So it's not only the Friday math exam that you're going to be ever writing. So even the Monday exam, you need to prepare for it Friday late when you're out of the math. So yeah, you see, when you're done with paper one, then we think about paper two and then do Friday. We can do Friday, we can do Saturday, Sunday, double, triple, periods, cross night. I'm gonna give you more information about those as well. Possible cross nights. Say, gonna see what we do.
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay, that's fine. Right. Right. We continue. Yeah, I wanted you to see if you can do 10.2.1. Wanted to see if you can do 10. Yeah, try it. You have 2 minutes. Right. We continue. Right. So we continue. Right. How far with the 10.2.1? Please update me there. Right. So we continue.
So not far.
Please come again.
I'm stagnant.
Okay, that's fine because we're practicing here. Now, to find this, you need to look at the fact that there is a point that looking at the properties of graphs, this one is called it contributes what you call a double root. Right.
Hold on. So my pen is finished.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Okay. I got another one. Thank you.
All right, that's fine. Okay, so now if this one is a double root, it would then mean that you actually can be in a position to analyze this cautiously and get the answer. So 10.2.1. So you'd have y, which equals x minus 1, x minus 4 squared. Right. So then we move on. So we're able to get this one is a repeated root. This one is going to occur once, but you're going to see the x cubed here means it's just x, and then this one is x squared. If we multiply these things, we have x squared minus is the following. Right, so this is x squared minus 8x plus 16, which means it is x cubed minus 8x squared plus 16x minus x squared plus 8x minus 16. Right, so this is y equals x cubed minus 9x squared plus 16, and this is 24x minus 16. From this, we're able to see that our a is minus 9. Okay, this way, if a graph has the x-axis as its tangent, we then say we have a double root, and therefore we're going to put a square on that one. And then at this pointer, it becomes actually exactly a equals minus 9, b equals 24, c is minus 16. C is minus 16. And this becomes the answer. The next thing is you need to find the coordinates of B. Can you try the coordinates of B? The coordinates of B. Try the coordinates of B. And when you're done, please let us know. The coordinates of B. Right, how far with the coordinates of B? Right, to find the coordinates of B, what we do is we take f of x. It is exactly x cubed minus 9x squared plus 24x minus 16. B is the turning point for 1. B is the turning point, so you must find the derivative, which is 3x squared minus 18x plus 24. This derivative, you must obviously equate it to 0. So now at this point, you want to equate it to 0 at the turning points. Right, so you continue. So you'd have this one in 10.2.2. And so now at this point, you can divide through by 3, getting x squared minus 6x plus 8 equals 0. Which means you have x minus 2 and x minus 4. X equals 2, x equals 4. Which means that you have the following. When you substitute this, you have x equals 2 or x equals 4. You substitute into this function, you have f of 2, it becomes exactly 4. Or f of 4 is exactly 0. Right, meaning the coordinates of B would be x equals 2 and y equals 4. X equals 2 and y equals 4. Right. 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 Any question about these answers we've written? Anything you don't understand? Anything you'd like to ask? Anything you need clarity about? Because we need 100% in the exam, please. That is what we want. We want 100% in the exam. No jokes. No jokes. No jokes. No jokes. Right. No jokes. Right. We continue. Okay. No question. We move on. Determine the values of k for which f of x equals k has negative roots only. Negative roots only. Negative roots only. Negative roots only. Right. How far? Minus 9, 24, minus 9, 24, minus 16. Okay. Okay, that's fine. So we'd have f of x, which is x cubed minus 9 plus 24x minus 16. Determine the values of k for which these will have negative roots only. So you'd have these cutting at minus 16. Determine the values of k for which these have negative roots only. As I indicated about these equations, so we have y is f of x. Y is k. So f of x is this one, cutting through b there. for 1 there. But now when you want to have negative roots only, you're going to intersect this one here. So it cuts at the negative roots. If it cuts at the negative roots, wherever it intersects, then you have a negative x value. And that is going to happen when we draw this horizontal. Because if you draw the horizontal line here, it intersects, but you do not have a negative root because this x is positive. If it cuts here, then you have 1, 2, 3 roots, which are all positive. But here, then you have a root that is negative. A root that is negative. So we continue. We continue. So that then in the end, it must be that any value of y must be less than minus 16, which means k must be less than minus 16. Right. Okay. Determine the values of x for which f is concave up. Determine the values of x for which f is concave up for 2 marks. What do you think there? What is the answer? What is the answer? Right. So we continue. We continue. Determine the values of x for which f is concave up. So try that one, please. When you're done, let us know. Try this one, please. When you're done, you let us know. Please let us know when you're done.
So
Yes, please.
you first find the inflection point where you do the derivative twice, or yeah, so I got 6x minus 18, then I got x equals to 3.
Okay.
What
Minus 9x squared plus 24x minus 16. Okay, this is the original function we have.
the double derivative.
This is the original function we have, the original equation.
Yeah, so
So if you look at you must find the first derivative
then the
first,
second one
and then
counter.
the second one. Right, so
Yes,
which is exactly 3x squared minus 18x plus 24, and then we
mhm,
find the second derivative of this,
which is 6x minus 18.
6x minus 18.
And then you find x. If x is bigger
Yeah,
than 0,
concave up, it must be bigger than 0.
yeah,
6x is bigger than 18,
then 6, then x is bigger than 3.
x is bigger than 3. Well done. And that is the answer. So it's concave up whenever x is bigger than 3. Any question? Any question? Any question? Right. Move on to the next question. Right, to move to the next question, let's do some applications of calculus. Okay, let's spend some time on applications of differential calculus and make sure that we can make the most of this learning experience. Applications of differential calculus. The profit P in rand per day, which the owner of a taxi makes when the taxi is driven, is that one? Yeah. The profit P in rand per day, which the owner of a taxi makes when the taxi is driven at an average speed of X kilometers per hour, is given by the formula P for profit equals X squared in brackets 4 minus X over 3. Calculate the average speed at which the owner will suffer a loss in revenue. The marks are 3. The marks are 3. The marks are 3. Right, so we continue. So what is the answer to question 12.1? So that we can discuss it. What is the answer to question 12.1? So that we can discuss it. We continue. Right.
I'm not sure.
Please come again.
I'm not sure.
Right. Obviously, to do this question, the couple of things you need to take into account is saying that the average speed at which the owner will suffer a loss in revenue would be when the profit is less than zero, when we have negative profit. And this is when we have x squared, 40 minus x over 3 is less than zero. And so now we want to get the average speed, but remember that the average speed is x. You need to solve for x. But we know already that x squared is actually always greater than zero. And for this to be negative, the 40 minus x out of 3 must also be negative. 40 is less than x out of 3. 120 is less than x, which means x is bigger than 120 kilometers per hour. 120 kilometers per hour. Any question? That is the answer. So now we want to find the average speed. The average speed is what? Is x. Right, you want to find the average speed, which is x, at which the owner of the taxi will run at a loss, will suffer a loss in revenue. And when they suffer a loss in revenue, we actually then are saying the profit is negative. And therefore, it means that x is bigger than 120. It means that x is bigger than 120. It means that x is bigger than 120. Any question here? Any question here?
So please repeat, sir.
Right, because we want to do this question, but we want to calculate the average speed at which the owner will suffer a loss in revenue. A loss in revenue means what? Means that the profit is negative. It means that you have negative profit. So if you have
So,
negative profit, then you must make the profit just be less than zero for the owner to suffer a loss in revenue. No profit, less than zero profit. So now if the profit function is this one, you must make it less than zero. To solve this equation, x squared you already know is greater than zero. And the 40 minus x over 3 must therefore be negative, which means then you have 40 is less than x out of 3, which means therefore x is actually exactly bigger than 120, which means that x is bigger than 120 kilometers per hour. Then that is the
thank
answer.
you, sir.
Yeah, think about it and make sure you sort of understand this question.
Okay, yes, sir.
Right,
Starting to
good.
see the light.
Right, yeah, good. The next question, 12.2. Calculate the most economical average speed of the taxi and the corresponding daily profit. The most economical average speed would be
When
the
they say most economical, they mean speed limit.
yes. When they say most
So
economical,
some,
well, they mean that economical, they speak about economics. They're speaking about what? Economics. So they're speaking
so,
about
so,
money. They're speaking about money. They're speaking about profit.
oh, okay.
They're picking up if it's economical, it's the speed at which the profit is going to be a maximum. So if this guy actually makes maximum profit, then that speed that is going to yield the maximum profit is the most economical average speed. You know, so the question is, what is the maximum profit here? At what speed are we going to have the maximum profit? Because when the profit is maximum, then it means the speed is the most economical.
Okay, I see.
Because in terms of economics, you can say your variables are working well, you are having economical operations when you are making the most profits. Okay, so we're making maximum profit. So now try 12.2 when you're done. I can see the time. Maybe I can give you that one as a homework. Just
Okay,
what I'm gonna
so
do. Like I wanted us to do it, but it's okay. Right, because I can see we're running beyond the time there. So this one is gonna be your home activity. You think about it. I'm gonna send you the recording in the next couple of minutes for sure. I know I need to send the previous recording. I wanted to send it. So calculate the most economical average speed of the taxi and the corresponding daily profit. And the marks are actually 6 there. That's your home activity for tonight. But obviously, we keep in touch. You let me know if you're available tomorrow or not. It's up to you. Or Thursday. It's the day we want to use. Right. Is that the case? But yeah, I'll hear from you.
yes, sir. Thursday.
Oh, Thursday,
Most
Thursday.
definitely Thursday.
All right.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Thank you so much. Have a
Thank
good
you, sir.
evening. We'll keep in touch
You
then. We'll
too,
talk
sir.
on WhatsApp. Thanks. Goodbye.